Hare Krishna.
So we've made it out again.
They let us out.
They let us out. In between rainstorms, but it's a very autumnal day.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so we'll continue our reading.
Canto 3, Chapter 30, Text 7. Description of adverse fruitive activities.
Text 7. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 7. Although he is always burning with anxiety, such a fool always performs all kinds of mischievous activities with a hope which is never to be fulfilled, in order to maintain his so-called family and society. Purport. It is said that it is easier to maintain a great empire than to maintain a small family, especially in these days when the influence of Kali Yuga is so strong that everyone is harassed and full of anxieties because of accepting the false presentation of Maya's family. The family we maintain is created by Maya. It is a perverted reflection of the family in Krishna Loka. In Krishna Loka, there are also family, friends, society, father and mother. Everything is there, but they are eternal. Here, as we change bodies, our family relationships also change. Sometimes we are in a family of human beings, sometimes in a family of demigods, sometimes a family of cats, or sometimes a family of dogs. Family, society and friendship are flickering, and so they are called asat. It is said that as long as we are attached to this asat, temporary, non-existing society and family, we are always full of anxieties. The materialists do not know that the family, society and friendship here in this material world are only shadows, and thus they become attached. Naturally, their hearts are always burning, but in spite of all inconvenience, they still work to maintain such false families because they have no information of the real family association with Krishna. Nice points about false family and coming together in whatever body you're in, and that becomes your family as arranged by material energy. And really, people put their heart and soul in it, because as it says at the end, most people don't have information of the eternal higher family. So you're going to invest in what you have, but no.
Yeah.
And it's natural to show that affection, because as we understand from Prabhupada, that's why Krishna created the parts and parcels, because he wanted that interaction and affection. So we naturally gravitate towards that in whatever life, species, whatever we are. We see all species do that, even little microgerms.
Microgerms, as opposed to the macro germs, I guess. Sorry, I take it back. Microgerms. Okay. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Maya's family. But I think we have to be very careful, how we apply that. Not that you hear that and then you go home, your husband or wife or you're a child, and you say to your spouse or parents, you're Maya, you're Maya's family, you're not my real family, and then you, create some whole awkward tension. I think the point is that they might be Maya's family, which is for sure true, it's temporary, but at the same time, they're still jivas, they're still spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna, and somehow, due to your karma, their karma, whatever karma, you're all together. So there's likely something you all need to work out in this life together, or have at least the proper ingredients in order to assist one another. So, you know, if you're Krishna conscious and they're not, and you start telling them they're like illusion, they're the illusory family, they're not the real family, my real family is my spiritual family, then they're not going to become favorable to
Yes,
Krishna.
yes.
They're going to think you've gone mad, you've been abducted by a crazy cult. And, you know, it's not going to... So better is that you understand it, you internalize it, recognize the temporal nature, and focus on what? Focus on the spiritual nature of those jivas that you're there with, and see how you can have positive interactions with them or learn something from them, and, you know, and grow and make spiritual progress in that way. Because the other way might not really give them or you the best opportunity to make genuine spiritual progress. So anyway, that's my thought on the Maya family. Although it is for sure a truth, but the application of truth, you know, just because you find out something is true about someone doesn't mean you need to go and whack it on Facebook. Plus another thing I was thinking is, you know, all kind of due respect, it may sound a little harsh, but I have seen that sometimes people didn't renounce their Maya family in order to claim the association of their spiritual family, which is the devotee community. But then when the going gets tough, and maybe they get sick, or maybe they have difficulties or challenges, the people that they can depend on to help and support them sometimes is the Maya family.
Yes.
More than the spiritual family, the devotee family. Now, I say that it's derogatory, and I don't want it to be derogatory. It's stated as a fact. It's not true in all instances, for sure.
But we have seen.
But yeah, it's there. So, you know, the spiritual family has to become, if it's not temporary, then that means it has to become permanent, which means we have to learn how to look after people even when they have their challenges, you know. Devotees get sick, and, you know, maybe they're living in the temple or like that, and they just, the only people they feel like they can depend on is their blood family kind of thing. So yeah, that's a pitch for devotee care. Should we read on?
Yes, please.
Text number 8. He gives heart and senses to a woman who falsely charms him with Maya. He enjoys solitary embraces and talking with her, and he is enchanted by the sweet words of the small children.
It's only sweet though if you have kids. If you don't have kids and you hear little kids talking in your home, especially at night, that's quite scary.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Family life within the kingdom of illusory energy, Maya, is just like a prison for the eternal living entity. In a prison, a prisoner is shackled by iron chains and iron bars. Similarly, a conditioned soul is shackled by the charming beauty of a woman, by her solitary embraces and talks of so-called love, and by the sweet words of his small children. Thus, he forgets his real identity. Who am I? I'm simply the dancing dog in the lap of a woman. Okay, anyway.
Next paragraph.
Oh, okay.
In this
Let's
verse,
not get into that one.
in this verse, the words Strinam Asatinam indicate that womanly love is just to agitate the mind of man.
Ain't it the truth, brothers? Sing it out loud.
Actually, in the material world, there is no love. Both the woman and the man are interested in their sense gratification. For sense gratification, a woman creates an illusory love, and the man becomes enchanted by such false love and forgets his real duty. When there are children as a result of such a combination, The next attraction is to the sweet words of the children. The love of the woman at home and the talk of the children make one a secure prisoner, and thus he cannot leave his home. Wow. Such a person is termed in Vedic language a grihamedi, which means one whose center of attraction is home. Grihastha refers to one who lives with family, wife and children, but whose real purpose of living is to develop Krishna consciousness. One is therefore advised to become a grihastha and not a grihamedi. The grihastha's concern is to get out of the family life created by illusion and enter into real family life with Krishna. Whereas the grihamedi's business is to repeatedly chain himself to so-called family life in one life after another and perpetually remain in the darkness of Maya. It's a very strong veil. I think we mentioned this many times before. I was surprised by this. Sorry, there's a lot of ladybugs on this bench.
I think in England you call them ladybirds.
Yeah.
Don't know
I
why.
don't like them.
Don't know why.
Yeah, I was surprised. Again, it's not like about taking names, but because when you read and anyway, whatever. I was just surprised, but like devotees that I've been around for donkey's years. But it's not a criticism of them. I'm saying that Maya is such a strong energy that it's almost like they not threw away, but were prepared to gamble what they've done so far or whatever reputation they have in relation to their own offspring, like defending or protecting if they've done something wrong. It was interesting because I kind of like see that sort of behavior in my own family, my own setup, my own aunts, uncles, parents, who society or whatever may label as not senior devotees or whatever devotees. But it was interesting when I was thinking, it's really hard, even if you've been chanting Hare Krishna X amount of years and have knowledge on that, this veil of illusion may get loosened and pulled back, but it's all goes to Krishna's material energy, I guess. I'm actually appreciating. It's very strong. It's incredibly strong. You can, and like, is it Narada Muni says to Yudhishthira Maharaj, or is it the other way around? I think it's that we see people dying all the time, and for a moment that's a conversation between Yamaraj and Yudhishthira. Yeah, and you see people dying. Maybe you don't see them all the time, but the point is someone may pass away that's near and dear to you, and you hear about it, and it may momentarily stop you in your tracks and make you think, maybe, oh God, where are we all going? What's the life about? But by the time you've left the funeral home, by the time you've sent some flowers to someone commiserations, you're back in that illusion. It's sucked in again,
Mm-hmm. Life goes on. Yeah,
and that life goes on is that illusion. That's what I'm saying. Now, if that illusion is so powerful, and I think, well, it's in my opinion, but it is, I think it's something that I would show my obeisances to, because I'm quite in awe of how powerful it is. But if it is so powerful, how much more powerful is Krishna? Because that's just his inferior energy. Think of it like that. It is so powerful, it covers everyone and everything, but it's just Krishna's, as he himself says, that's my inferior energy. That's not even me on full throttle, as it were. That's like whatever, whatever. I know.
Very good points. Full throttle and everything. I wanted to pick up on these two terms, grihastha and grihamedi.
Okay.
So I heard a lecture once where someone was explaining that, of course, we speak derogatorily about grihamedi, but a Grihamedi is still someone who offers daily kind of ablutions into the fire yagya. They still perform Vedic sacrifices, but they do it for the purpose of getting wealth and prosperity and life in the heavenly planets. Or they offer excuse me, oblations for the forefathers, so that they can go to the planets of the Pitris, not the pea trees, but the Pitris, the forefathers, Pitriloka. And so, this senior devotee was explaining that actually Grihamedis are quite elevated and advanced, just like we often use derogatorily the term karmi. And we say karmi, oh yeah, if you're not a devotee, you're a karmi.
Oh, yeah.
But karmis, they're performing karma yoga. Means they're still performing their activities for a higher purpose of connectivity. But the point is that they're doing it to try to get the results of their work, but they're still kind of working in line with Vedic culture. Just they're doing it to try to get temporary results. Karma yoga, and a Grihamedi is the same, whereas a Grihasta is someone who has their relationship, their home centered around Krishna. So the house is Krishna's. Everything we do here is for Krishna. The Grihamedi, like we do our offering so that Krishna gives us something. It's quite subtle, but I thought it was a very important point. That's why I brought it up.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit like.
Hasn't had his Weetabix yet.
Okay, so we call it quits or do one more?
Sorry, man. It's up to you.
Speak now, forever hold your pieces.
Well, you need to go somewhere.
All right, we're going to call
There's
it
always
quits.
something with him, is this?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much. At least we got a little bit of reading in. It could have been more or it could have been less. But we're doing it. We're managing to maintain so far. Last few days, every day. So thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki
Jai.
Jai.